Let me paint you a picture, or let me take you back to a few years ago, more than a few years ago. The year was 2006, and I was in GSS2. I was 11 years old in 2006, and I was sitting in class, probably reading, looking out the window, daydreaming somehow. And I overheard two of my friends from across the room in class, and they were talking about a movie. Well, one was telling the other one about a movie, and I could hear some of the things that they were saying, and I was hearing, oh, these four girls, they were friends and they came together to do a heist. And the other one was very interested in what her friend was telling her. And honestly, as I started hearing the story, I was like, okay, this sounds very much up my alley and this is very interesting. And it got to a point, the listenee, I'm going to say listenee, the listenee asked the listener, okay, so who are the girls in the movie? Like, who are these actresses in the movie? And the person narrating the story or the plot of the movie was like, it's Genevieve Naji, Rita Dominic, Uche Jumbo, and Iniedu. Hearing those four names come out of her mouth after hearing the plot of the movie, I remember standing up from my chair and then going to sit down with them to get more intel about what they were talking about. If you're Nigerian, you'll know the significance of these four women being in the same movie together. And well, if you're not Nigerian, you're about to imagine if in like the 2010s, when everyone was like the Holy Trinity, Beyonce, Rihanna, Nicki, and they were all begging them to come together to like make a song, make a video, do something together. But imagine they did. That was what this movie was like the biggest, four of the biggest female actresses that were dominating Nollywood and are still dominating Nollywood came together for a movie. It was a cultural reset. The name of the movie is Girls Caught, and this has become one of my favorite movies. I rewatch this movie a lot. When I'm feeling down, I'm like, let me put on Girls Caught. When I'm feeling happy, let me put on Girls Caught. I love a heist movie, spy movie, anything that people are trying to steal something, find something. I love that genre. And then to have that movie featuring like the biggest actresses in Nigeria, I mean, it's like it was made for me. It was made for me. So recently, well, not recently, but like last year or so, I was watching Girls Caught. I realized that the costuming in the movie were telling a story. Like each character had like a color assigned to them. They had like storytelling. Like storytelling was being told through their costuming. And as someone who is obsessed with costuming, I love costuming and I love film. I obviously decided to write about my observations, and that's what we're going to be talking about today in this video. I'm going to be doing a costume analysis on the four characters of Girls Caught. Genevieve Naji plays the role of Queen slash Halima. Uche Jumbo is Bella. Rita Dominic is Alicia, and Iniedo is Eve. And we're going to take each character one by one. We're going to talk about like their costumes, their colors, and we're going to talk about how the colors and the costumes that they wore in the movie showed more depth to the kind of character that they were. But before we start, let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Rain, and this is my channel. I love fashion, I love costuming, I love film. So I decided to create a channel where I can talk about it till I'm blue in the face. If I'm looking off camera, I have my computer, I have notes. The first character we're going to be talking about is Queen Halima. From the moment we meet Queen, it's clear that through her clothes that she's important and comes from a different social class than most people at the university. She's dropped off by a bodyguard and her clothes are very well tailored. They fit her perfectly. What the kids will call quiet luxury these days. And she has this confidence that just emanates through how she presents herself. She's getting out from the car, she has a brown outfit on, and the skirts, the luggage, and her bag all like have matching logos, like the Gucci logo. To everyone else, they might just see that, okay, this is just a regular brown dress or brown luggage or brown skirt. No one is going to notice that it is Gucci. Flying under the radar, because if you have watched Girls Caught recently, or if you've watched Girls Caught at all and you remember the plot of the movie, you will know that Queen is the vice president's daughter, and she is using that as like a way to be to get like social clout, but not social clout. Like, she wants people to know, but she doesn't want people to know, that kind of thing. And that shows through her clothes and the first outfit that she wears when we meet Queen. It's a kind of, if you know, you know, status symbol, like I said earlier. To the untrained eye, it might look like a regular brown checkered skirt bag or piece of luggage, but to someone like Eve, Eve is the one of the other characters that we're going to be meeting later. Eve Eve, as a person, actively covets wealth. It is and she instantly recognizes that what Queen has on is a designer label, and she's somebody like, it also adds like credence to what Queen said about being the vice president's daughter. Throughout the film, Queen consistently wears neutral colors. She wears a lot of browns, whites, blues, and blacks, and these colors reflect her position as a steady and neutral leader. She's the leader of the group. She's the one who comes up with all the plans. She remains level-headed and emotionally composed even in high-pressure situations. We see this moment like when she steps in to calm things down, when Bella is being harassed for faking, like Bella was paid to force a signature for some girls to get into the school, and unfortunately it wasn't a well done job, so they were harassing her to get her money back. Queen was able to step in calmly and diffuse the situation. When she's also confronted by a shop owner for unpaid bills, she was able to stay cool, calm, come up with a plan, strategize quickly, and lead effectively. And all of that is reflected in the subtle strength of her wardrobe. Besides the other girls, like, Queen very rarely like overdresses. She always dresses in a way that she knows who she is. She's very confident of who she is. She doesn't do too much with her outfits. She's always very, very impeccably dressed. Even in her complicated love life, she maintains this emotional clarity while dating both the chief and his son. So, to add more context, Queen has like will I say, she does, she's like a high-end call girl, and she ends up dating both the one of her clients and his son. And the son and the client, they both have a very rocky relationship. It's like, even when she's put in the middle of this very complicated situation, Queen is able to be the voice of reason. So instead of like taking the side of the boyfriend, she tells her boyfriend the hard truth. Like, you played a part in this fallout between your dad, and you're playing a part in being disowned by your dad, so you need to take accountability and start making steps. Like, you need to admit what you've done, admit that you're the reason why this relationship fell apart, and you should start taking responsibility and maybe take steps to build the relationship back up. And another thing I noticed about Queen is whenever she's around her boyfriend, she wears a lot of black, which was I found that really weird, because normally when someone is in love and you're with someone that you're comfortable with, in love with, you would tend to wear bright, joyful colors and something that reflects warmth, happiness, and security. But Queen wearing a lot of black, maybe her subconscious was trying to signal that the relationship wasn't serving her. The relationship was a dead end, and it becomes true if you've watched the movie. And even if you haven't seen the movie, I actually urge you guys to see the movie again and watch this video. Maybe what I'm saying is making sense, or maybe I'm just thinking too deeply, but I think I'm right. I feel like I'm right. Or maybe the black reflects something deeper, that around him she's comfortable, she can be her true self, she doesn't have to put on any airs, she doesn't have to put on like a fake persona. Her boyfriend knows like what's really going on in her life. He also knows that she's dating his father, so that also adds a very high level of comfortability to her. He's someone she can be around without him judging her. Compared to how she dresses around her other clients. She always wears like bold pinks, bright reds, flashy accessories, all designed to distract, to charm, to keep the attention of who she really is and focus entirely on her performance as this like expensive girl that is there to like give them her undivided attention, admiration, to fawn over them. Now let's talk about Eve. Eve is a resident thief. One thing I loved about this movie is each of the girls, like, they had a special talent. Eve was a thief. She could pick any lock. Queen didn't really have a special talent. I'll say her special talent was being able to strategize, come up with plans, and seeing the bigger picture and everything, and just being an all-around good leader. So Eve is a resident thief. She covets people's things and has a clear taste for the good life. Her dominant colors are earth tones like browns, greens, blacks, which not only help her to blend in like a camouflage, but also reflect her ability to slip into fake personas. Her wardrobe helps her come across as unassuming, especially to men, making it easier to disarm them and lower their guards so she can steal from them. Eve is my kind of girl. I don't even know. I don't even know which of the characters I most identify with. I feel like if I were to think deeply, I feel like Queen might be my person I'm most aligned with. Eve uses this ability to slip in and out of personas to her advantage multiple times throughout the film. She uses it to steal a check from one of her clients so that Bella could forge it and they could steal money from his account. And then she also used this ability like to trick a cult leader into thinking he had a chance with her when it was ultimately a setup. If you watch the Girls' Court, you understand what I'm talking about. You know what I mean. Eve is sharp. Eve is a very sharp girl. She was the only one who immediately recognized Queen's Queen's pieces as like Gucci. Like, she was the only one that was able to identify that Queen was wearing designer pieces, and that moment shows us how tuned she is to luxury and status, and she wants to acquire things. It doesn't matter who it belongs to. She wants to steal it to have access to it. Like, if she has to steal it to have access to it, she will steal to have access to it. So her costume reflects her dual nature. On one hand, she's a good friend, generous, loyal, and ready to help. Even before knowing who Alicia was, she offered Alicia a place to stay when Alicia was stranded by one of her Johns. She steals the money that Alicia is owed by said John and gives it to Alicia. And when Alicia and Bella are fighting over their relationship, Eve offers herself as a listening ear. But while she's a good friend, she's generous, she's loyal, she's also deeply covetous. Even though she's close to Queen, she has tried to steal things that belong to Queen, because Queen is the closest person to her who has acquired the level of wealth that Eve clearly wants to have. Shortly after she recognizes that Queen's things are luxury, she picks Queen's lock, tries to steal her shoes. She also goes behind Queen's back and starts seeing Queen's boyfriend, and that's another example of her desire to have what isn't hers. One thing I like about this, about like Girls' Court and the costuming of Girls' Court, is even when they're not wearing their dominant colors, the costume designer always put them in things that reflect how they are, like their personas and like the kind of characters that they have. One costume moment that showed this was when there was a scene when Queen came to talk to the girls about a party that she was inviting them to. And even though we don't get to see the full message of what was written on Queen's shirt, the visible part reads, "I deserve too much." And anyone can guess what she deserves. She feels she deserves. Maybe she feels she deserves too much money, too much clothes, too much attention, too much love. But it speaks to Queen's character that she's somebody who feels that she deserves everything. She wants everything. Anything that she sees, she has to have. And it is basically, it's her the shirt was her in a nutshell. She believes she deserves the finer things, even if they belong to someone else. The next character we're going to talk about is Alicia. Alicia is a seductress. She's her special talent is being able to use her body to entice men and lure them into her web. Her dominant colors are red and black, and I find that funny because it mimics a black widow spider. A black widow spider, they mate with the men and then they kill the men. So Alicia is basically a man eater. She sleeps with men for money and she uses them to get what she wants, as she should. Red, which is also a parent color to pink, which is Bella's dominant color, and Bella is her love interest, signals that Alicia's emotions run deeper. As the story unfolds, we see that Alicia's feelings in the relationship are much stronger than Bella's. So Alicia is someone who is very passionate, not only because of she's a seductress, but she's just all around passionate. She loves deeply, she feels deeply, she connects deeply. And I love that red are the colors that are chosen for her to show that fireness and that, like, how much she loves, how much she wants to be with somebody, and also how she uses her femininity and her sexual power to get what she wants from men. When Alicia is not in red and black, she wears cheeky graphic prints that hint at her line of work. Like I said earlier, when I was talking about Eve and Eve's shirt, I mentioned how I liked when they're not wearing their dominant colors. You can still see them in things that allude to who they are as characters. Two of my favorite shirts that Alicia wore are, she wore one that has "want to see my favorite yoga position," and then she has another one that says, "You're a naughty boy, go to my room." I actually want that shirt. I need to find where I can get that shirt from. Her wardrobe doesn't just highlight her seductive nature, it also reveals that Alicia is a passionate and devoted lover. She's deeply in love with Bella and genuinely dreams of a future together. In the scene where she tells Bella about wanting to leave her job as a high-end call girl, Alicia has always hated the fact that she has to sleep with men to get money to support herself. She realizes that it's something that she has to do, but she doesn't entirely enjoy doing it. And when she starts dating Bella, she sees an out. She sees that this is something that I'm with this person I love, I'm with this person I care about. I want to stop this line of work that I have to do, and I would like to just focus on building a forever with my girlfriend, Bella. In the scene where she wants to stop being a high-end call girl to build a stable life with Bella, Alicia is wearing her signature red and black. The red represents her intense love and longing, while the black suggests a looming reality that no matter how much she wants this relationship, the harsh truth is that a future together is nearly impossible in a deeply homophobic Nigeria. She even floats the idea of eloping to a country where they could live freely, but unfortunately, Bella shuts it down, and Bella enjoys what they do. Bella loves that they're able to get money by deceiving men and sleeping with men. And unlike Alicia, even though she cares for Alicia, Alicia is more in the relationship. Alicia is the one who wants to build a stable life. Aside from red and blacks, Alicia also wears green at key moments, most notably when she teams up with Queen to scam Chief Harrison. At first, Chief Harrison is in a relationship with Queen, but he's quickly seduced by Alicia. Before we know it, it's revealed that Alicia and Queen are actually working together. Initially, when I watched this scene, when Alicia was talking to Chief Harrison and seducing Chief Harrison, I saw Alicia as cunning. The green symbolizes Alicia's cunning. Like a green snake in the green grass, she appears harmless until it's too late. With the way we've known Alicia from the start of the movie, you never expect her to be the kind of person that will go after somebody's boyfriend. That would be more of an Eve behavior. So initially when I saw Alicia going for Chief Harrison, I was like, oh, this is still in character because she's a seductress, but this is very cunning of Alicia. So I like that they used that the costume designer put her in green in that moment. And then later when the plan is revealed and we find out that Alicia and Queen are working together to scam Chief Harrison out of his money, the green takes on a new meaning. Alicia isn't just seductive, she's clever, she's strategic, she becomes like an Eve figure. Eve as in Adam and Eve. She's tempting Chief Harrison with the forbidden fruit. She is the forbidden fruit. She's Eve as well. She wears green again, this time in a darker shade, when Chief Harrison brings the 7 million naira bribe. By that point, he's realized he's been played. The darker green to me, I read her wearing that darker green top as mirroring the shame Adam and Eve felt after they ate the fruit and they had to like make clothes out of the leaves in the garden. Chief Harrison is aware, exposed, and full of regret. The scales have fallen from his eyes. He realized that he's been had. In Alicia's private, more vulnerable moment, her wardrobe is softer. She wears colors like blue, white, beige, tones that reflect her emotional naivety and inner longing. These are the shades we see her when she's most exposed. Beige when she reveals her relationship with Bella to Bella's fiancé, and white during the heartbreaking fight that ends their relationship. Beneath the seductress exterior, Alicia is just a woman who's done what she had to do to survive. But at her core, she wants somebody to love her. She wants to be loved. She wants to love by somebody. She wants to be loved, and she wants to love someone. She wants to love Bella. She wants to be in a relationship with Bella. She wants to feel secure. And all she wanted to do was just to quit what she was doing, ride off into the sunset with her girlfriend. But unfortunately, that couldn't happen. And now Bella. Bella did Alicia so wrong. I'm sorry, you guys. Bella did Alicia so wrong. I'm so upset. Bella's dominant color is pink, especially in the early part of the film. At first, the pink symbolizes her sexuality as a woman who loves women. It represents her hyperfemininity and the softness often associated with queerness in a romantic sense. But as the story unfolds and we begin to understand Bella more deeply, the pink starts to feel like a performance, an aesthetic she uses to present herself a certain way rather than an honest reflection of her feelings. Bella's special talent is forgery. She is able to forge a signature. She's able to forge feelings. She's able to forge her persona. I like that the costume designer decided to put her in pink, because at first we see her as, oh, she's a lesbian, she loves women. We don't really get to see Bella's duality. Like we don't even like, because she's the one who pursues Alicia, and from the beginning she's like interested in Alicia. So we are not questioning her feelings towards Alicia. We see it as she genuinely likes Alicia and she wants to nurture a relationship with her. So we don't question if she is right, if she's true or if she's not. And she dupes us all. Alicia, the audience, she dupes us all. The pink presents her as unassuming. She's hyper feminine. She loves women romantically, and we take her as what she presents. As her character evolves, her color palette darkens. That shift mirrors her emotional arc and reveals the power dynamic in her relationship with Alicia. While Bella clearly cares about Alicia, like Bella loves Alicia, it's very obvious that she cares about her. It becomes obvious that she doesn't feel as deeply or as seriously about the relationship as Alicia does. In the scene where Alicia suggests they quit everything to elope and start a life together, the contrast in their wardrobe speaks volumes. Alicia wears red, symbolizing her passion and longing to live freely and love openly with Bella, while Bella, on the other hand, is dressed in black, visually rejecting Alicia's proposal without even saying a word. In this scene, Bella is wearing black. Alicia is trying to convey her feeling that she wants to quit and she wants to go on and live in the sunset and ride into the sunset with Alicia. And Bella doesn't really give a concrete reason why they can't do it or why they can't do it. But her wearing black is a way to be emotionally closed off. It shows that she's emotionally close up to what Alicia is proposing, and it speaks volumes to her character. Bella's special skill is forgery, and that talent exceeds beyond document. It shows up in her ability to forge feelings too. When she was trying to win Alicia over, she leaned heavily into pink, possibly to signal to Alicia that they are alike, that she too was gay and emotionally available. But in reality, that performance was just another forgery. Everything comes to a head when Bella and Alicia run into Bella's secret fiance after a date. Like, the audacity to be dating a man, to be engaged to a man, and you're leading your girlfriend on. Jail. Bella, straight to jail. The fallout leads to a massive fight between the two women, and once again, their clothing tells the truth. Alicia is wearing all white, and while they're both wearing like complementary colors, black and white are complementary colors, they also contrast each other. Alicia is wearing all white while Bella wears black with white suspenders. The contrast is striking and symbolic. Bella's outfit is a literal statement. She's the one wearing the pants in the relationship. She's always had the overhand over Alicia. She's been the one who has the power to like break the relationship or end the relationship. Even subconsciously, I think Alicia knew this. That's why when she was trying to propose the idea of them living together, she asked Bella first, because if Alicia was the one who had the power in the relationship, Alicia would have called it off and been like, I'm done, we're leaving, we're going to do something else, we're going to find a way to live our lives, go to another country that's more acceptable of our love. But Bella has always been the one who wore the pants, the metaphoric pants in the relationship. And at the moment when they had the final fight, after Alicia finds out that Bella is still engaged to a man and their relationship is most likely not going to be going anywhere, Bella is wearing pants and making it a literal statement that she has been the one wearing the pants in the relationship, and she's the one calling the shots. Bella's talent as a forger runs through her entire character. She presented herself as ultra firm and emotionally invested, luring Alicia into believing they had something real and lasting. But once that version of herself is held up to the light, the cracks begin to show. And the truth is that it was never as genuine as it seemed. Another thing I liked that when they were a group, they all wore complementary colors, especially after the heist of the gold they went to steal. They all wore like, they had a color palette. It was like red, yellow, green, and white. And each girl had like that color in their clothes. I think it was really, really fun. Now that I've talked about every single character and I've analyzed the costume and the colors and how it relates to their character, I would like to talk about Uche Nancy. If you know Uche Nancy is she used to be a very prominent costume designer in Nollywood in like the early 2000s, and like the golden, to me, I feel that was the golden era of Nollywood. Before I went into talking about like the characters and everything, I spoke about how much I love costuming and film. And honestly, my love for costuming started by watching Nollywood movies and just being exposed to like how they dress. I used to want to go to university in Nigeria so bad because of how like the university girls used to dress. I loved how the costume was in Nollywood movies. It was even at my young age, before I started like paying closer attention to costuming and how costuming told stories and how they were working hand in hand in the characters' evolution and growth. I was always attuned to how people dressed in film, TV. Maybe it's because I was just like obsessed with fashion, and I always wanted to see what people were always wearing. That's why I just want to use this opportunity to give Uche Nancy her flowers. If you watched any movie from the 2000s, if you pay attention to the credits, you've seen Uche Nancy's name. She was able to, any movie I watched that Uche Nancy did the costuming for, the costumes were always dynamic. They always had a story. It was very, very beautifully curated. And it's very painful that Nigeria is a country that doesn't really give recognition to people who contribute to filmmaking in that way, like costuming, set design, makeup, etc., etc. Because by now Uche Nasi should be like a multiple award winning costume designer in Nollywood, and this is just me giving her flowers. Another thing I wanted to talk about is Nollywood. What's up? Nollywood, how far? How far? We used to have like good LGBT representation in Nollywood movies. This movie is not just the only movie that I remember having LGBT representation. There was another one, Beautiful Faces, with Stephanie Okereke. We had the one, I can't remember the name, but also Stephanie Okereke and Dakore. We had a lot of movies. I remember watching a lot of movies growing up where it showed LGBTQ representation, men and women. And I don't know what is going on now. Times are evolving, but it seems like we're regressing in representation and showing that on the big screen. I would like us to go back to that. Let us start telling dynamic stories. Let's start telling more stories. You know, let girls kiss girls. Let women kiss women. Let men kiss men. Like, come on now. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. I know this might be like a pipe dream, but I would really like Nollywood to get better at representation all around. I know Nigeria is not really the best with handling LGBT discussions, but if we could do it then, I feel like we could do it now. So let's get back to it. So yeah, this is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope if you haven't seen Girls Cut in a while, I hope you watch Girls Cut again. It is a really, really, really great movie. The more I watch it a lot, and I had to watch it multiple times to do this, to get what I needed to get for this video. I hope while you guys watch it again, you guys take into account everything I said. And if you can see what I talked about in this video, feel free to leave a comment, and tell me maybe I'm thinking too deeply as I always do, or you can see what I mean and you can see that what I'm saying actually makes sense. Does that make sense? If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. I actually urge you guys to watch Girls Cut. If you're Nigerian, watch it again. If you're not Nigerian, watch Girls Cut. It's free on YouTube right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will probably be doing more costume analysis and talking about film, both Nollywood movies and Hollywood movies. Yeah, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching again. I'm Rain again. Subscribe, like, comment, all the things. Goodbye. I'm done.